Good evening, guys. It's me and OMONDI Juma. Back in the Man United. Start again. Back in the Man United agenda. Hot seats. Preview time. Are we really gonna blow it? I hope not, guys. It's the preview. Yes, OMONDI. What's happening, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just curious. You said, "Are we really going to blow it?" I'm sure you're talking about Liverpool's title candle that they've got. There's not title top four candle. We're going to blow that out tomorrow, surely. What are you
It's.
suggesting? You try to say that we can't get a point in the next couple of games?
I'm just asking. I'm gonna put a question. I'm gonna put it out there.
Okay.
What if the impossible happens? What if we don't get the two? What if we don't get the 1 point? Would you be blaming Ten Hag? I'm just going to put something that came into my head just before I jumped on. Would you be blaming Ten Hag or would you be blaming the players?
If we don't, I don't want to think like that because it's 2 home games and we discussed this yesterday. Chelsea got nothing to play for really. They're mid-table. It's not like they can jump into like a European contention or anything like that. And Fulham, you said yesterday, your exact words were they're on holiday right now. So I expect at least a point minimum. We could lose tomorrow, put the pressure on us, and have to get a point against Fulham, for example. Hopefully, we get a point tomorrow. But I don't know. To start a show like that with this sort of question, after all our positivity, it's a good question. It's a good question. I think hopefully people can answer it. But I'm kind of confident that we will. And I've already, and I wouldn't go out there and put my head on the line by cussing Liverpool fans, blowing out their candle, talking to Arsenal fans about we got top 4 just like you and all this kind of thing. I wouldn't do that unless I felt real confident that we got this. And like Liverpool had a bad result the other day. They ended up drawing, didn't they? And that for them, that for me, that was curtains. That was it for me. Meaning we only needed a point to get this top 4. What are your thoughts? Have you heard something?
No. It was just something that I thought I would just throw into the mix while we were on. Because you still haven't answered me. Would it be the players or would it be Ten Hag?
Okay, so if it does happen and we don't get points in 2 home games against mid-table Chelsea and Fulham, who have done well this season but really got enough to play for, if we don't get a point in the next 2 games at home, then it will be the players' fault, I believe, because the manager's done well this season. I can't fault him. Our home record's been okay. We're in contention. It's now over to the players. You got nothing to worry about. You got the whole summer to nurse any injuries, whatever. I expect full commitment from the players. That's the only reason we won't win. We got the quality. If we start sort of thinking, summer now, we can start cruising out here or playing Ole football in some lovely May sunshine weather. That's when we're gonna really have a problem. We've got a good squad. I'm sure we talk about the team selection. I'm sure there's no one major that's out apart from maybe Sabitza's out, maybe Tomley's out. But apart from that, I think we've got enough. And the players will have to step up. As long as you give 110%, we will get the points required. So it will be down to the players if we don't make it, in my opinion. Mr. B.
I just thought I'd put it out there. That's all. I just thought I'd put it out there.
Guys, is he making you nervous? He's asking the question. I've answered it. Guys, can you answer the question for me as well? Because I think he's having some jitters here. Guys,
no jitters. I'm 100. Listen, look. We'll get it done tomorrow. I expect us to be in Champions League by the first half of the game tomorrow. Okay. To be very well, I expect that the second 45 minutes for us to have our feet up and just get ready to learn that music, man, because it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I'm sure I've got a sheet somewhere with it in whatever language it's supposed to be in. Oh, the only words I remember now are champions. So yeah, I'm gonna before the season starts, I'm gonna get all of it, and I might do a little video clip for us to start our Champions League campaign.
Is that right, guys? We would love to see that. You're gonna watch along tomorrow, by the way.
Yes, I will be doing a watch along tomorrow. Yeah. I'll make sure that I'm more than prepared for that tomorrow. I mean, look, preparation tomorrow. We've only got, well, let's say injury-wise, it's only Sabitzer. McTominay was back in the week.
Okay.
So it looks like it's only Sabitzer that's out. Rashford's back.
Yep.
Which we've missed him. I think we've missed him. I'm expecting him to be on fire tomorrow.
When you say he's back, I mean, is he back to play, or is he just back?
No, back full training, back in the squad, back ready to start, back ready to play. I expect him to be starting. We'll have a look and see what Solo has come up with in a bit. But could we just go through some of these messages while we're here?
Yeah, most certainly. I want to say, obviously, Jeff's in the house. Jeff, real top supporter of the show lately, man. Really do appreciate it. And we will be answering all your comments in this previous show as well. I just looked on today and I've seen Jeff's making good conversation. But Jeff, big up, man. Thanks for all the support you're offering. And he's bigging up Eddie Football Waffle as well. Go check out his channel, of course. Ed Mayhem, one of our big supporters as well. How you doing, Ed? Midfield Dynamo. We want revenge, Ed. He said big up to everyone. Loving his channel as well. Bill Baggio, I'm going to answer some of your comments. I saw them earlier in the previous show. So after this show, or maybe later tonight, I'm going to go and answer all your probing questions and your statements you're making. Big up to Emma, our Danish beauty, all the way from Denmark. She's saying, if we lose to this shy Chelsea, then we don't deserve top 4 in her opinion. And Bilal as well. How you doing, bro? He said, we struggle against Chelsea. There's a stat here. Let me just say this. We've drawn against Chelsea more than any other side, and in the last 10 meetings, we've had 3 wins and drawn 7 against them. So that's a point for us, I reckon. Jackie, how are you doing? Everyone give Jackie a wave in the comments.
Long time.
Jackie, we're privileged to have you on board with us tonight. We haven't seen you for a while, Jackie, but always enough respect due to you. Hope you and your family are doing well. Bill Baggio saying here, happy Wednesday to Jackie. Yep, she's here. Turf, Morehouse TV, Turf Moore, Burnley fan. You're back in the big time, and you'll be back on the Man United agenda for twice next year for the talks. We've missed you. Welcome back. Well done to Burnley, by the way. Who did you expect that, Mr. B? Like Burnley?
No, I didn't. With the players,
of the season.
No, they didn't. I didn't. And the fact that they got rid of what we would class out. I'm not a Burnley supporter, so I don't know what they had in reserve. I don't know what they had coming up through the ranks. But if he's got them playing a whole completely different style of football. It's going to be interesting. One, if the style stays the same, because he played the same style in the cup against Man City and got absolutely dicked. I mean, look, we got dicked, so let's not get it twisted.
Didn't we play them? Didn't we play Burnley in the cup?
Yeah, we played them. They did. Right winger was good. I don't know. I can't remember what his name was. They had a tricky one. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. Listen, I ain't gonna remember. I'm not gonna remember his name. I just remember watching the game, thinking, "Ooh, he looks a bit spicy."
Yeah. All right, well, welcome back, Burnley. Guys, what do you reckon they'll do next season? Playing, because traditionally they played a solid football, big units in their side. That's changed, and they've adapted now. They're playing a free-flowing style of football under company. Do you think they'll be all right? Bill Badger is saying Chelsea will crumble. Bilal saying I'll bring Rashi on in the second half. We're getting sharp for the Wembley derby. That's massive coming up. Big up Eddie, Football Waffle. He's arrived, and he's saying thanks, Jeff, for all the support. Yeah, likewise, man. There's 8 likes at the moment. Keep hitting the likes, guys. We're consistent, as he always says. There's Eddie Football Waffle. Jim Mack is in the house. How you doing, Jim? He says we're going to lump Lampard all over the shop. And Bill Badger is saying here, do you think any youth players will make the bench tomorrow?
I reckon more Fulham. I reckon more the Fulham game. Yeah, if you get the job done.
Yeah, there you go. So that's thing. Let me just give you a bit of team news about Chelsea while we're there, just to discuss this. So, you mentioned that obviously Rashford's coming back. Now, Phil Jones, Martinez, Sabitzer, and Donny van de Beek all long term. They're going to be out. Chelsea forward João Felix. He's recovered from the minor injury, forced him out of the previous game. So he's playing, and I don't like it because I think this guy, when he comes up against us, especially with Atletico Madrid, there's something about
that bloody header from the ball. Oh yes, they scored to see. My memory's bad, but I do remember that. I remember cussing. He's done it again.
Something about that guy is very good. Obviously, he's gone under the radar a bit when they were at Atletico Madrid for massive fee from Benfica. And we haven't seen the best of him yet. So there's still a lot more to come. And maybe Chelsea will keep him. But he's a very talented player. And also Ben Chilwell, who didn't make the England squad. Reece James didn't make the England squad. and someone called Mason Mount.
Oh, he didn't make the England squad either, did he? I
Mm.
think he's out. I mean, look, while we're on the topic of Mason Mount, let's talk about what everybody else has been talking about. On Monday, about 4 months ago, I said to Solo, would he take Mason Mount? And he said no. He poo-pooed me. But it was a half conversation. It's just because he hadn't signed. I hadn't heard anything. I didn't know anything. Oh no. It was just a conversation that we passed and he said no. Now, since we've come on here, it's actually come to light that Ornstein has tweeted that Mason Mount's preference is to join Manchester United and he would like to let it be known. He was like his agent to inform other interested parties that his preference is Manchester United, which means basically that if that's right, then we've got a free hit at Mason Mount. Guys, in the chat, you as well on Monday, you're taking Mason Mount.
All right, here we go. Mason Mount. He's been at Chelsea for a long time. He's come through the ranks there. First came to my attention when he went to Derby with Lampard on loan and done really well in the Championship. I still didn't think he would be the player that he was, but obviously I always heard Lampard was talking highly about him. Now, not about you look at him as a player; he works hard, but it wasn't just about his. It's not like he's super skillful or anything like that. It's his mentality. He's a mentality monster, Mason Mount. He works hard for the team. He's a team player. He closes down really well. He's got legs. He can shoot. And it reminds me when they beat Man City in the Champions League final. He was the guy who made the assist, and he got the Team of the Year in the Champions League that year. So and obviously he's played for England, and we've seen in big tournaments, World Cup, Euros recently. He's been sort of in and around the England team, first 11, and a mainstay in that sort of side. He's dropped off a little bit now because he hasn't been playing much at Chelsea. They've got Havertz and these other guys. They're disorganised. They're not making use of him. So he's got to be disheartened. Now, I would never expected him to want to come to Man United or us to sign him from one of our so-called rivals. But I do, the more we talk about it, I'm thinking this seems like a good signing. One reason, bath time. I mean, you know, we deal with bath time a lot on the show. Bath time and what we evidence this season is like, we talk about tactics, and he talks about this, the two box midfields that we have. So two, which Man City play, Brighton kind of play, Arsenal play that when they bring a man in midfield, and it sort of outnumbers other sides. Just suddenly you're sort of trapped in not a Bermuda triangle where you get lost. Now it's a Bermuda square where you got two forward guys and two back guys. The two back guys are kind of ball players, retain the ball and have to be solid. And we don't have the sort of clientele to play that system. But if you can bring Mason Mount into the fray, then he could be one of the two guys ahead. And he's very good in that. I think he ticks all the boxes in that respect. So I think going forward, Ten Hag wants to bring players that can play a system that suits us, where we can compete with possession-wise with these other teams. Having Mason Mount, Bruno, and then behind him Eriksen and maybe Casemiro as a four, or even Sancho and Mason Mount, drop Bruno. You know, you can do that in games, and you can create that box in midfield. So I think Mason Mount is a key player because he's another player who can also replicate what Bruno does with his running and work, getting in behind. He's got the quality to score goals as well. If you look a couple of seasons ago, 2021, his stats were really good. Assists and goals, he was there. He was doing it. So if you show him the love, put your arm around him, give him that drive and determination and motivation to get back in the England team, two, to come to a club like Man United, where he could do something different, and the manager actually wants him, and he'd probably be a key player because he feels wanted, because he's clearly not wanted at Chelsea. I think it's a good signing. And they talk about £55 million. I think that's fair enough for guys 24 years old, proven international player. And
1 year left. 1 year left on his contract.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's got 1 year. He's going to have 1 year left after. Obviously, this summer's up now. Okay. Do you think that 55 million is too much for somebody who's got a year left on his contract?
Look, we know everyone talks about the British tax or the English tax. That's something. He's England international, 24 years old. His next contract is important. He feels let down by Chelsea for not sorting out the contract sooner. Doesn't feel like he's wanted, you know. So why not we sign him, pay 50? I think 55 million is fair for somebody. It doesn't matter about his last contract or whatever. We're getting him before that even gets into the conversation. We're showing we want you. Your club might not be looking out for a contract for you, but we want you. You know that like the American War thing. We want you to come. We want you. Or Apollo Creed. I want you. I want you. You know that kind of thing. It makes you feel special, and he's not feeling special right now. 55 million is fair. I know Chelsea valued him at sort of 70 or something. I don't want to go
85, yeah.
that. We probably would get in the bidding war. But if he's saying now, like you said, that he said to his agent he wants out, maybe then we can start negotiating and get a good price for someone who's 24 years old, proven international, and has got the motivation, good professional, good team player, works hard, presses well, and can help us adapt to play a box in our midfield. I think that's all positive for us.
All right, we've got a few messages here. Zoe's one's funny. Well, yeah, I'll just start a few messages. If you could just get them up for me.
I did hear, Mr. B, did you hear in the news today that him and the Scottish boy who plays for Chelsea is on loan at Brighton. Gilmore have been, there's a woman stalking them. So there's a court case. There's a woman stalking both of these guys, and she's been convicted now. Because they're pretty boys, aren't they, both of them? And there's a lot of rumours that go around. I'm not interested. I'm just more concerned about how he plays football. Yeah. But yeah, Zoe, I hear what you're saying. He's a pretty boy in a way. Mr. B, I've spoken a lot. I know people are going off in the comments, and I want to read them. I want to know what you think, because I've given my views, and I've been convicted in what I'm saying today. I'm not sitting on the fence.
When him being at Chelsea, you watch opposition players with scorn. Maybe you probably don't appreciate what they can do. The fact that all of the managers who came in have played Mount, and even Southgate. I mean, look, maybe we shouldn't mention Southgate because he's picked Maguire again and he hasn't kicked a ball in months. But all of the managers seem to pick him. So there must be something that he does. I'm not sure what it is. But if he's going to be playing as not a replacement, as a first team, because you're saying he comes in the team to replace Eriksen, then I don't really have a problem with him coming into the team. I said I would like to see him play. He's a full international. He's had great games. He scored great goals for Chelsea. So, and the fact that he wants to come, I like players who want to come, and they make it known that they want to come. If Ten Hag's interested, and that's a deal that can get it done early. Because let's be honest, it's going to be a fire sale at Chelsea. They've got far too much players. Yeah. So some of them might only be there for one season once Poch comes in and says, "Oh, I don't want him out." So yeah, get it done and get it done early. I think it would be great.
Okay, just quickly fire through these comments. Ten Hag just taking time with the youngsters, said Emma. He's not going to bring a kid in for the sake of it, especially if they aren't ready. That's referring to the next couple of games. Jim Mack saying if we offloaded a few players and Mount is a squad player, then he's an upgrade in what we have. I think that's a great comment. Eddie Football Waffle saying Mount, he's rubbing his chin here. Said only if we were to offload McTominay, it is an upgrade to a certain extent. So he's not completely happy. Zoe Media House, how you doing? We're engaging on Twitter a lot lately. We love you, Zoe. Solo saying the guy who you said 4 weeks ago or a couple of months ago said he wouldn't take Mount is now saying I would take Mount any day of the week. He would definitely improve us. What a difference a couple of months makes. Stand your ground, right? Yeah. Bill Badger saying Mason Mount will be a very good signing, great cover, and experience of winning. Want to say hi to Angeline as well. Welcome back to the Man United agenda. Mount is not a Ten Hag player. His quality is not the standard of Eric Ten Hag. I would rather pick Rabiot over Mount. It's interesting comment. Jim Mack saying I like Mount as a player. You don't see him falling out at nightclubs unless I've missed something. There is something about him, but I don't want to get into it. But he's a professional. That's the main thing. Column saying asking price of 55 million when we're on a limited budget as it stands. No, thank you, says Column. Column, tune in later because we've got a Doncaster United player, ex-captain. We're going to be interviewing later on. Zoe saying Mount is too feminine. If that makes sense, it does a little bit. Not for 55 million, says Jim Mack. Hi to Man United. He said Mason and Kane 120 million deal. The London boys bring them up, and 55 million. No way. There will be other better prospects for that cash, plus an extra 20 million, and you could probably get Salcedo. That's from Eddie Football Waffle. Bill Badger has got. Oh, sorry. let me say, Bill Badger said, responded to Eddie, said, I think Iqbal was ready to go on loan. Maybe he would have gone out with the likes of Hannibal, Fernandez and learned, but he hasn't. So I don't see him being in Ten Hag's plans. Talking about our youngsters here. And a couple more here. Jim Mack was, okay, stalking his own. All right. Jim Mack said, I get stalked all the time on account of my gorgeousness. Jimmy Mack. Oh, Jimmy Mack. When are you coming back? Yes, the lady's favorite. Jim Mack. Zoe saying here, I admit I have issues with Bruno, but no way would I swap him for Mount. It's not a swap, it's just to add to the squad, I imagine. And Mount is a decent buy, but we need to buy another centre midfielder to box, fair play box. I'd rather go Mount over Ravia. He would at least meet English quota as well. I'll stop there with the Mount talk.
See, that's the part of it, is the English quota. But look, it's 50-50 again. If he comes, great. If he doesn't come, you have to trust the manager to get something else. It's nice when you know what a player is. My thing is he wants to come. So look, I suppose we'll have to see what happens. I mean, look, we all know why you've come. We all know why you're here. It's nothing to do with me or OMONDI hosting. Solo always gets the props even when he's not here. So guys, drum roll please in your heads, because I ain't got no rhythm, so I'm not going to be tapping the table.
Solo's 11. Woo!
Okay.
Anthony. Okay, yeah.
What goalie? It's a no-brainer. Luke Shaw.
Well, you could make an argument. Luke Shaw, he's gone away from his left-footed centre-back business because of the form of Lindelof. He's really sort of made a statement in recent weeks. So Solo's actually thinking the same thing and thinking put Shaw in his best position left-back. And Solo's got faith in Lindelof with Varane after the last couple of games, what they've been doing for me. So Solo is going with Lindelof and Varane. And Solo's completely rejected Dalot. Guy, it's ironic, isn't it? When you think about Mr. B.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, Dalot versus Wan-Bissaka's been like back and forth all season. It's got to the point where it's been like chalk and cheese. At one point, Wan-Bissaka's rubbish selling, and Dalot's the man, whatever. We were all saying it. And now it's sort of switched on its head, doesn't it? Where it's the other way around. We're saying Wan-Bissaka's the man. He's performing well. He deserves credit. I mean, it's really strange how that goes, because there's no consistency thing. Will Wan-Bissaka fall off again? Will he get sold? I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. But yeah, Wan-Bissaka at the moment, I do agree he deserves to start, and I want to see who starts the cup final, because that's going to be the most interesting thing. I think what's going to be interesting in the next couple of games, Dalot should be demanded to get some games to prove that he's ready for the cup final. Mr. B.
Is he though? Is he ready for the cup final? I'm going to ask you a question on there. Do you think it could be something to do with contract? Because obviously he's been linked with Barca and Real Madrid, and he's available on a free. All right, you haven't heard anything, which is good, about him. No pre-contract agreement, but the fact that he's now not playing.
Yeah.
You've got a final coming up. Wan-Bissaka's the one with the longer contract. So I'm wondering if Man United, being Man United, are going to let one of those two go to buy the right back, because I don't think they're going to hold both of them. I don't think both of them are going to be held.
Well, look, let's look at it like this. I just think it's down to performance. I do really do. I think if you play well, you're going to continue to play. And I think you can look at examples of Harry Maguire hasn't played well and doesn't continue to play. That's the manager's being consistent with that. I think everyone can agree Wan-Bissaka's played well and he's playing at the moment. My only point, not to swerve your question, but just to sort of react to the situation. My only point would be to say that I think in the next couple of games, Dalot needs some minutes to show I'm in the race. I want a place in the cup final. And he should be knocking on the manager's door saying, "Here's what, give me a run out. I want to prove that I'm ready to compete and so for that selection at the right back." So it's going to be a massive game against City. It's a huge game. Biggest game in years for Man United, I believe, for many reasons. not just that because of the cup final, but because what it will mean for City. You understand what I'm saying? So with this treble and that kind of thing. So I think the players should be knocking on the door, demanding this right back situation needs to be resolved. At the moment, I've got Wan-Bissaka leading the race, but Dalot needs to do something about that and fast because time's running out.
We don't really have an argument about Casemiro, Ericsson, or Bruno, right?
Well, you said Sabitza's out, so yeah, there's no argument. Yeah, Ericsson and Casemiro. As long as they get through the game, fine. I'm happy with that. This is where with Sabitzer out and maybe Fred is sniffing around as well. Maybe we can rotate these guys if we've got a good result. And not after 58 minutes like with Martial. I don't know what happened there, but we'll get on to that. But I think Casemiro and Ericsson this season has been proven to be really key. And with us dominating games and keeping possession, you've seen Casemiro gets the ball out of his feet and can ping it left, right, and start attacks, play between the lines, pick up the. He's an all-round player, really good player. But Ericsson can do. He's a specialist. He can't do it all. He hasn't got the physicality. He can get munched a lot of time. But what outweighs that is his technique, his dictation of the ball, and the play. And he's a very special player. So I'm really pleased with those two midfielders. And long may they continue.
Anthony. Any question marks on Anthony?
Yeah, there's always going to be question marks on Anthony, Mr. B. You know that. I mean, at the moment, there's no one really. You got Pelestri, he can play there. He's right-footed, but he's versatile. He's very intelligent with his play. And then you got someone like Sancho, who's doesn't tend to be placed there at the moment. He seems to play off the left. So Anthony's sort of, he's dancing out there, feeling sweet every week, knowing that he hasn't really got much competition at the moment for his place. He's a big money signing. He's come in. He's really determined to do well. You can see that with his attitude. And I think at the moment, I might not agree that he's playing the best, but he works hard. He's aggressive. He sees a bit of a winner. He does need to improve, but at the moment, I think he's settled on that side and he gives us that little bit of balance. But I do want to pick him.
Okay, we'll save the best two to last. Rashford's back. I know he's going to be starting. I'm going to ask you, do you think that he would drop Martial and start Garnacho?
I'm sighing here. I'm going to say no. I'm just thinking how the manager thinks. I think the manager is thinking these guys will have to prove themselves to get into the side. Garnacho's on the cusp of the first team, but he's not going to start. He's the sort of guy who still remains this season is going to be coming on. And I think he's been told that and said, you're doing so well next season, we go to the next step where you will be starting games. This season, I think it's still a case of learning your trade. First season as an apprentice, sort of in and around the first team, you're not going to start every single game, but you're having that impact off the bench and you're giving us something extra we don't have with the current lineup. And he's the only one in the whole squad who can do what he does, like he did the other day when you jumped off his seat, when he broke through the middle of the park, dummied, jockeyed the guy, left the guy in his backside and slotted it. You love that goal, Mr. B. That's what we're saying. That's what he can do. That's what he can do. So I don't think Rashford will start. I think Sancho's still over him and Rashford on the left. Maybe.
So you don't think Garnacho's going to start?
No, Garnacho won't start, in my opinion. But I want to ask you, and obviously Martial, we talked about this yesterday about the big lip. He was sulking. You said, Mr. B, all right? This is what you said yesterday. And guys who watched the show yesterday, you know he did. And quote me on this. Mr. B said, if Martial doesn't start tomorrow, there's worries. Something's going on. Do you stand by that still, Mr. B?
Yeah, I do. But I do think he's going to start tomorrow. Just because I think we're more productive as a football team when he's playing. Whether or not Ten Hag, after the next two games, decides that he's not going to be... I mean, look, it doesn't matter how great you are, man. If you're bloody injured and can't play, he ain't no good to nobody. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting what he does to... I don't know how you strengthen your body in the off season, but he has to do something because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the amount of time that he hasn't played, and then when he plays, he makes me forget about how vexed I am that I just want him to play. His contract's up 2024 anyway,
Yeah.
So it could be a thing where they just say, look, you know what, bounce, just go. He's not good enough. Would I keep him as a second striker? Yes, I would. I would, and hope that he was fit enough when we needed to rest Harry Kane or Osimhen or whoever else we're gonna get. I think yeah, keep him, keep him. He starts tomorrow, but it wouldn't surprise me, to be fair, if he didn't start. And then that's what we're talking about, the worries, guys. Before we do jump, while we're still chatting, get your score predictions in. Sorry, Monday.
Yeah, just quickly go through the comments here about this solo 11. Not much dispute. I think it's a fair team. Where Eddie's saying here, I hope Wan-Bissaka's a squad player because he's a great defender. Zoe saying Wan-Bissaka can play for Jamaica or someone else, as he won't get into Southgate's team. He needs to act if he wants to ever play international football. He's definitely not Jamaican, is he? He's from Congo.
Definitely not.
Box is saying here, I'd have Dallo as left back cover and Wan-Bissaka as right back cover for next season. Interesting that. Big up to Matthew Bassett. He's arrived late and he's dropping some news, obviously, about the Mason Mount talk. We got Box saying here, bar Rashford, Ganacho's their question marks over all their attack. I'm not reading that right. Bar Rashford, Ganacho's theirs question marks all over their attack. It makes sense. I'm not sure. Sorry about that. Emma saying here, I wouldn't start Rashford if he's just coming back from illness. And Angeline saying Wan-Bissaka is the best right back in the world. He has signed the likes of Mitoma, Maxim, and Foden. This is about like locking down people, great sort of attacking players. That makes him the best right back in the world. Mr. B, do you want to respond to Angeline?
People don't get past him. It's just going forward. Yeah, it's just going forward. He just looks so ungaged. Just even his technique, he'll do the skill, and we're sitting there thinking, "Shit, did he just do that?" Yeah. But it's not because we don't think he can do it. It's just, I don't know.
Let me pose you a question then. You agree that he, like, one-on-one, he will lock you down?
Yeah.
Punch you,
Yeah.
What will happen if he improves going forward? Would that make him put him in consideration to be one of the best? He is improving slightly. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think he's showing it in the final third, a bit more composure, hardly gives the ball away because he plays safe a lot of the time. If he started to develop that side of the game, would that make him, is that the only thing that's missing, stop him being one of the best players in the Prem at right back, or one of the best right backs in the world, as Angeline's saying here?
Yeah, I mean, defensively, you can't argue with it, but the right back position has changed. They have to go up and they have to go down. So if there's a team where they're totally defensive, then there's no problem. But the fact that I don't know. Maybe it's just bias. Maybe I'm just being biased on Monday. Okay.
Anthony, that's a good. You stirred us up here with that comment. Sancho should not feature in the plans, not even enough as a first substitute. That's from Montreal, MUFC. Zoe saying keep Rashford benched to the FA Cup. Martial scores 1 in 15 games, says Man United. Box is saying here we need to rest Eriksen, Casemiro, Shaw, Rashford versus Fulham. Eddie's saying here, yes, Garnacho start maybe in the last game. He did have a bad start early in the season, but practice makes perfect. Jeff saying here, Garnacho is our secret weapon off the bench, but when they bring him on, they need to move Rashford to striker or take off Martial. Don't bring in Weghorst, he's saying here. Montreal's, just to give a controversial comment, he's coming back with, at boxing, in an ideal world, we would just rest everyone against Fulham. However, what would you do if third place is in touch and distance after the Chelsea game? You've got to think about that Champions League too. We've mentioned that there's a few million pounds involved with coming second and third. But anyway, the score predictions seem to be flying in. So let's go, Mr. B. All
right, Monday. What is your score prediction before we go any further?
Funny
and
enough,
if you say it, don't, please, I begs. We've got 2 games left. Don't give me that score. Just don't give me that score, man.
I'm saying this. Chelsea, Man United, last 10 games, there's been 7 draws. I think it's going to filter out to be another 0-0. And you're going to do the watch along, and you're going to be sitting there thinking, oh, here we go. But you'll be excited because we get our point, which means Liverpool will be shut out and we blow out their candle. I think it's been 0-0 because in the mindset, you said if we don't get top 4, players' faults. But I think the mindset is some players have to prove fighting for selection for the final, FA Cup final. Not many of them. Eriksen, Casemiro, they're cruising. But if you want to keep these players fit at the same time, none of these players want to stretch too far, to get injured. You don't want to get sent off, all that kind of thing. And I think Chelsea as well, they're just going through the motions. So I think it'll be a game where you're going through the motions, and both will be happy with a point. Lampard will say, boy, finally I'm not getting a defeat, travel up to Man United, and we'll be saying, we've got our point, we can top 4, let's move on. So I'm saying 0-0, goalless score draw, goalless non-scoring draw, and we get our point. Mr. B.
I do not want to be sitting down for a goalless draw. I'll be honest. I don't want to be sitting down there for a goalless draw. That will do my nut in. Right. So I'm gonna go. I think, to be fair, we have to give somebody licks. Come on, man. We've taken a beating all season.
Yeah.
I would like to think that we're gonna 3-0. Chelsea aren't scoring. Rashford's back. Martial's got a point to prove after Mr. Sulky face the other day.
Yeah.
The players want that week off against Fulham. They want to have a week off. Yeah. So I think they're going to put their full thing in. I'm going to go 3-0. 3-0 United.
Wow. That would really bury Lampard, whose reputation is really in the mud right now, as a manager. As a player, beautiful. Great player, but as a manager, yeah, that would really bury him. Let's go for some scorelines here. Man United is saying 1-0. Anything shocks you, Mr. B? 2-0 from Jeff? You said 3-0.
No, yeah, Jim Mack, my guy.
Matthew Bassett is 2-0. Here we go. This is more realistic. 1-1. HD Gamer, you're on the same page as me. Double AA. There's batteries, or I don't know what it is, but you're saying Congo. And
that's who, Wan-Bissaka.
He's not from the Caribbean. Bill Badger is saying, I'm confident we're
I get it, man.
Inside joke. Eddie's saying here 1-0 to United, but he's hoping for 3-0. Exactly the scoreline that Mr. B was saying. Emma's saying 5-0. It's our best shot to get them licks. We've got a big scoreline here from HG Game. He said, nah, forget that. What did he say before HG Game? He said something like 1-1.
1-1. 6-0. Somebody's going to get a pasted, man. Yeah.
Vincent saying 2. Michael Hill is in the house. How you doing? Can't believe Wan-Bissaka started as a winger. Can you? Yeah, it's funny that. Double A saying, just because in black can't say he's on the Caribbean. Kiss my teeth. Shake my head. 1-0 said Box, and Bartime said hello, and he wants to rub it in now because he's a Tyrone Mings fan. Tyrone Mings got the England squad today, and so did Harry Maguire, by the way. And yeah, we saw the left-footed centre back go in. We got Sue 82. How you doing, Sue?
Welcome. Long time again.
You neglected us, and now you want us back because it's the summer now. You want to get the thing on again. We will welcome you with open arms, Sue. Welcome back. Happy Age. Hope you're doing well. Let's go for the win Champions League. Come on, and 4-0. HG Gamer was last time when he was Chelsea manager. We beat him 4-0 at Old Trafford. That's Lampard.
Good.
And final one, Very Media House saying Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Lindelof, Martinez, Shaw with Casemiro in front. Martinez is out. Is the best defense in Europe. Okay, and just in general, she's saying here. And loads of comments coming in. Anglin saying 2-0 to United. And that's, I can't see any
guys,
more lines.
Thank you for watching. If you are still here, look, hit the like button. If we don't get more than 20, Solo's going to do his nut. And me on Monday will be banned. Yeah, so you don't want us to see us banned. So guys, thanks for watching on Monday. Is there anything you want to end with, sir?
I just want to say thanks, guys. There's 20 people watching right now. We do appreciate that. We're not the greatest, the biggest channel out there, but we appreciate all the support we get. Because you guys know we're consistent. Halfway every night of the week, we support Man United. We come on here and we put our things together. I just want to say big up to Mr. B, because he's doing a lot of work in the background. Setting up things, and he's a family man, does his thing. So Mr. B, enough respect to you for all the hard work you do in the background, and to Rebel, and to Column, and to Pat, and to Solo, and to everyone associated with the Man United agenda. We've been going for what, 2-3 years now, so all you guys are like family to us. We do appreciate you. And just remember, just an example, Ed Mayhem came all the way down from Birmingham to play for us, so it shows the love. We're a family kind of, you get family clubs. We're a family channel. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
I like that one day. Look, could have brought a tear to my eye. Guys, thanks for watching. We will be back tomorrow. I'm going to be here I'm going to do a watch along tomorrow. Yeah, I've sorted out my internet, so it should be running sweet tomorrow. On Monday, we'll be there afterwards to do the reaction show, guys. Look, if we're not talking about Champions League qualification, and you guys, all of our regulars, learning the theme tune, because when we come back, we will be having a sing along. Remember what I said? We will be having a sing along. Guys, thanks for watching with the Running United Agenda. We are out.
Big up.